Hey guys, I've kind of made notes because it's really hard to organise my thoughts while watching your guys' videos because I love them and I agree with you on so many levels, but at the same time, awkwardly but also interestingly, I kind of disagree, and I thought about it and I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of voice my feelings because I feel this is somewhere I'm safe and because I love you all. I know we're all like really good friends, so it's totally fine. But, you know, this should be interesting because I do kind of disagree. Absolute social taboo. I don't really call myself a feminist anymore. Sorry, but your videos made me really want to and got me closer than I have been in a really, really long time. But, yeah, I completely see the place of feminism. I believe that sexual equality has not been achieved. I know sexual equality... Oh, guys, I just have to tell you this really quick story, okay? I was out getting a little bit wasted yesterday. Not wasted, because nothing was wasted. It was a good night and I was totally there. Anyway, I don't want to give you the impression that I have some kind of, like, problem, but I was out drinking at a really nice pub in Aberystwyth yesterday, and I was talking to an Irish guy who was really nice, and we were just having like a little chat, and it really wasn't anything big, and I was talking to him about his course and his country, and we were just having a joke, and then he finds out he started talking to somebody else, and then they said that I was engaged, which I am, and he just went mental, and he was really angry that I was engaged, and I was like, I didn't open my legs to you, I just literally talked to you as a human, like, I didn't, like, that wasn't like, if that was an advance, I didn't see it, so yeah, that made me really angry, and he got really pissed, and I was just kind of like, I didn't see a social contract happening there, or if I did, I didn't want to, and I don't think that should be assumed just because I'm a woman and I'm talking to you. Anyway, I'm getting the point that I do really believe in the need for what people call feminism and what we recognise as feminism in our society, and I'm not going to say anything about that because I completely agree, and as you can imagine, I'm somebody who feels strongly about a lot of things. The knowing giggle, and I'm very happy to vocalise those things, and you know, you can imagine if somebody was ever sexist towards me that I have reacted badly, and I've, you know, told you a few stories about that, but yeah, as you can see, I'm passionate about equality. My questions are, if feminism is equality, and equality is what we're fighting for, why do we have to call it feminism? This is something I just can't seem to grasp or get past, and I'm willing to be sort of persuaded out of my point of view at the moment. I'm going to sit straight, but oh, stuck my boobs out at you then, was that a little bit anti-feminine? No, I'm kidding. If it is feminism and feminism is equality, why don't we just call it equalityism? For me, essentialising the word femi and having that kind of prefix on the word feminism makes me think it is about being a woman, and there is a difference between being a woman and a man, obviously, but I feel like essentialising that difference kind of makes a barrier. Like, you know, when, for me anyway, in my head, I understand what other people say when they say feminist, and I support feminism, but I just can't go over that line and say I'm a feminist, because I feel like it's so important to me that I'm who I am and I'm not defined by my sex and my gender, and it's something that I have, I embrace my sex, which is my physical state of being female, and I also toy with the idea of being woman, which is different. Like, there's gender and then there's sex, and they're different things. Like, your sex is your body and your gender is your enactment of that implication of your body thing. I feel like feminism as a counterculture to our supposedly like male dominated culture is also kind of one-sided and a little bit blind and blinkered, because the kind of media around feminism suggests that gender equality is something that is weighted on the woman, which it is, and I really do agree that it is weighted on the woman, but we actually ignore the fact that it is also on a man, and that's why it should be equality and called equality. And I don't want to be a feminist. I'm sorry, don't hate me, but I just can't bring myself to go over that line, because, like, for example, okay, at the moment in our society, correct me if I'm wrong, because what I love about this channel is we all live in different areas and different countries, and we're living in different kind of societies and stuff. And Michaela, what you said about France is really interesting, and I kind of get that from the times that I visited. I have family in Paris, and which is a bit more cosmopolitan, but I visited, like, last year I went to Annemasse, and that was, yeah, I can kind of see, yeah, wow, it is different, isn't it? Anyway, like, for instance, if a guy is out or knows people or is associated with women, and he openly says that he is not attracted to somebody because they are fat or because they are overweight, that is something that in my society, the stuff I've experienced, is really attacked, and is something that's like, oh my god, you can't say that, and you shouldn't be able to say that, and everybody's beautiful, and you can't just say that you're not attracted. Well, you can not be attracted to somebody because they're facts, obviously, freedom of speech, but like, it's rude to say so, or to think so, or it is perceived as anti-feminist and kind of male chauvinist, piggish. But if a woman isn't attracted to a man because he's overweight, in society's eyes, that's kind of understandable. Something that is acceptable and isn't rude. It's just a fact of life. And I feel sorry for the guys on that part, because there's lots of like empowering curvy women kind of culture, but there's not really any kind of empowering man. It's just kind of like, oh, you're really lazy then. Awkward. Like, that kind of example, I could probably go on with more examples, and if I sat down I could probably think of a lot more, but I think there's also subtle ways that aren't advertised in the media that men are kind of trodden down, and it's kind of like, yeah, okay, I feel like there's this image in our minds that men have this agency and they can do whatever they want, and I don't think it's true. I feel like there is a lot more to be done in gender equality, and that is something that I want to fight for, and I don't want that to be accentuated around the fact that I'm a woman, even if Catelyn Moran does say that it's about if you have a vagina and if you feel like women should be equal, which I do feel like they do, but I also feel like that men don't have complete agency in society, and they obviously, I was going to say, decorative culture. If men want to decorate themselves too much, means they're gay, definitely means they're gay. That's what society tells us, or means they're queer or they're vain, and it's just not something that is applied to women, and that's something that we need to recognise that we're free in, and we have more agency than men in that way, and it's interesting. And I don't know, I kind of feel passionate about this issue, but I also feel totally wavered to change. I've read a lot of feminist theory, as you can imagine. I've written a lot of books. I've written a lot of mediocrely marked essays on feminism, and I've read a lot around it. I feel like I have, but then you never know if you're just reading essentialisms, or just not, if you're reading in just one sector of a big scale thing and you wouldn't know. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, Jess, I do have this book, and I've now bumped it up my reading list to read. But yeah, I will really be giving this a go and giving it some more thought, and kind of just, I don't know, I'm constantly reevaluating my stature on this, because my stature, I don't even know if that's the right word. Hello, text. Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest, but that's what I think at the moment. They're my thoughts. I felt comfortable sharing them in this forum, just because it's a good place to share things, and I know you guys kind of, yeah, like, I don't know, I just felt like it was okay, and it would actually make things more comfortable. Not comfortable, maybe things would make things more interesting, probably less comfortable. But yeah, that's my thoughts on feminism or not feminism. I've kind of mentioned this in a video on my own channel that I will link below, for any of you guys watching. Probably people on the channel that have watched it, but the people, subscribers, if you haven't watched it, I'll link it below. And it kind of opens the doors to what I think about it, but that's ever changing. And I do think that feminism has a massive part in our society, and it is something that's good, but I also am uncomfortable with the name, and I don't think it's all to do with the fact that people perceive it wrongly. I think perhaps the name could be revised. Yeah, I kind of think that with feminism, we're supposed to be working ourselves out of a job, so to take it on as an identity is kind of, might be self-destructive in the end. Anyway, I love you all, and I will see you next week. Bye!